With the final 2 minutes of the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power being unknown to us, Unreal Entertainment and I are going to be here breaking down what's left on the table and trying to divulge into what's really going on with the Mastered Ultra Instinct and how this is going to fare up to a fully powered Jiren. What's going on? Thank you guys so much for coming out to the video. Like the video, subscribe, and turn notifications. My boy Unreal is here, and we're going to be talking about how strong is Mastered Ultra Instinct compared to Jiren.
I think Mastered Ultra Instinct has to be above Jiren because we saw, based on the way episode 129's previews being showcased, it looks like Jiren's more or less keeping up with Ultra Instinct Omen, and it doesn't come in the form of a surprise because we saw what he was able to do during episode 110. But I think that universally we can agree that it's safe to say that Mastered Ultra Instinct has to be above Jiren, unless Jiren gets some enormous, buff to where he just even eclipses what Mastered Ultra Instinct is, or even puts some relative to it, and then that's the only way I can see him being equal to it. But I mean, just so far, judging based on what we're seeing from Jiren and everything he's done, if this is the way Ultra Instinct is able to keep up with him, and then giving Goku stacked on top of that the mastery of that form, I don't think Jiren has a chance. Unless they buff up Jiren and they give him some sort of a power up to where he's equal to Mastered UI, then I can see this fight. I can see this fight being very, very very chaotic in the sense to where they could bleed each other out until the very end. And considering the fact that I thought about this, I was like, wait a minute, by the very end, despite who they give the upper hand to in episode 130, I think that regardless, I don't think this is the last time we're ever going to see Mastered UI, as weird as that may sound, because they're just giving us this form now. In this fight with Jiren for what? It's not going to be a one and done deal. I firmly believe that, in the future, we're going to see more of Mastered UI, hopefully enough, either in the next movie or, if there is another series for that as well. But I think that in this fight with Jiren, Mastered UI has to be above Jiren in terms of raw power. Unless they give him something, to eclipse Goku or put him on par with Mastered UI, then that's the only way I can see Jiren even being remotely close to him.
I feel like with the Dragon Ball formula, it's always been like that. When you get a new form, you have to be able to decimate the enemy to make this form even viable. However, I have a feeling that it might just end up in a stalemate because, yes, UI in the way it is right now before it's mastered, I have a feeling that it's only been catching Jiren off guard, and then Jiren being at full power might just, at 100%, might just be able to match some of Mastered Ultra Instinct's form attacks. And what I see here is that, what if Mastered UI, what if there's a time limit on it and Goku's gonna drain out of energy fast enough or something like that, and Jiren's gonna catch a wind of this and outlast him? I have a feeling that it's gonna have to come down to the wire, and Frieza still being in the ring, it may come to that as well, with them needing his help to take out Jiren, or just winning by default with having more fighters. But I have a feeling Jiren's gonna be on the ropes for a little bit, and something's gonna happen that makes it go back onto level playing fields, because with Jiren being such a hyped up character, we haven't seen him at his full power, and if we do, there's only 2 minutes left in this Tournament of Power, and really 2 episodes of action that we're gonna see. So do you think that they're gonna be able to maximize all of Jiren's hype, his backstory, if they're gonna add more to that, or more of his character development, if anything, if they're gonna even touch that, on top of him reaching his full power in this tournament against Mastered UI? Or do you think it's gonna be crammed in here and a lot of things are gonna be skipped over?
Oh no, they have to maximize both characters. I mean, this is the last time potentially we're going to be seeing Jiren and Goku fight, until of course they announce something else in the future. But for now, I mean, if this is going to be the be-all end-all of the entire story, then they're going to have to give you everything in a nutshell for you to be satisfied, not only as a fan, but for them to just finish up that story and, making Goku the strongest they can possibly make him, in fighting the strongest he can possibly come across, and then telling that conclusive story. The thing about Jiren is, if the series wasn't ending, I would have loved to see Jiren incorporated more into the story. But since we already know that the story is coming to an end, it only makes sense for these two to just fight it out, at their max. But I don't know, it just, this whole silver-haired concept, it came in the form of Toriyama's interview 2 years ago when he spoke about this, and the idea that when the interviewer asked Toriyama about his said plans about Super Saiyan White, I think I can find it somewhere to where I think the exact quotes from Toriyama are, Toyotaro asked, my question's so trivial, but I'm kind of ashamed. Why does Super Saiyan Blue have blue hair? And that's when Toriyama replied by saying in Battle of Gods, it was red, so I figured that for Revival of F, I should go with blue. Then he laughs and saying, actually, I was thinking about having it be all white, but then it would be a color clash with the next enemy, so I figured I would save it for another occasion. Boom, here it is. And that's the exact interview from Toyotaro to Toriyama. So, you know, with that being said, this is the be-all end-all fight, the strongest Goku we get. And I think that the way it's going to come down to is either Goku winning, Jiren winning, or either they knock each other out or something else happens. And that's what makes this so, like, unpredictable in a way, because you don't really know in terms of, like, what direction this is going to go in. But despite whatever direction it's going to go in, I'm sure it's going to be awesome to watch.
It's going to be like an amazing thing to watch, because with episode 128 being in the books, we did get to see a brief moment of like this unpredictable movement, and I think that's the best part about Ultra Instinct and the biggest selling point in terms of animation. Like, when they see this character on screen, you don't know what's going to happen. It's such wonky movements and stuff like that. It's not as predictable, and that's the thing that I like about it, because for the majority of the tournament, it's just been like the average punches, you know, like da, 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 da. I don't really like that, and that's what Ultra Instinct brings to the table here. But Jiren, being the badass that he is, being able to unlock all of his powers, he's going to really put a show on for us, and I have a feeling he's going to drain Goku of everything he has up until this point. And I feel like Goku was already about to be down and out right before he turned into Ultra Instinct again. I have a feeling that's not the last time we see that, and Jiren's just going to bring everything to the table. I don't see Jiren just getting knocked out of the ring just like that. With Frieza being in there, this brings so many questions, and that's what makes me think that Jiren's just going to be able to match Mastered UI at some point, or drain him of all of his energy and then have the upper hand.
So? You really think he's going to match him, though? That's like at full power? God.
If not match him, tank out most of the energy, and then have Goku maybe phase out of it again. Maybe he might not be able to hold it.
Do you not understand how OP someone has to be to even...
I know, but...
That's
the only reason that I would have to say this is because Frieza's character hasn't been used. They put Frieza in there over the MVP 17, over Vegeta.
They're trying to make you forget about him, if you noticed.
Yeah, and they're making us try to forget him. They didn't show him at all in the last episode. So it's like, why are you guys doing this? Created such a hype wagon. If he wasn't in there, I would have believed that Mastered Ultra Instinct would have won indefinitely. But with him being there, it just brings so many questions to the table. Why are you still here? Why are they hiding you? What role do you have to play? Because in episode 127, you got your ass beat and showed us that you can't do anything. You literally can't do anything against Jiren. Yeah. So why are you here? But that's what makes me think that there's going to be some kind of weird scaling here with Jiren's power level to Mastered UI Goku.
I don't know, like, for Jiren, I feel like they're gonna have to reveal his true power, because up until this point, he's been like just flexing up, just, you know, using flares of his power. I'm not sold on the idea that he's used his full power at all. I think that there's way more to Jiren than we think. But I think that as we progress on forward, the fight's gonna be awesome. I just really hope that it lives up to everything that we've been expecting, because if not, that's gonna be a big disappointment. But I think that for the most part, unless they buff Jiren, Goku wins. But if they buff Jiren and they put him relative to Goku, then I don't know, man. Like, because all the signs are there for Jiren to tank the Ultra Instinct Omen, but the question is, what about Mastered UI? You know, it's very weird the way they're handling it, but it's gonna be awesome to see. I'm guessing that Goku's gonna win, but if not, if they're gonna be dead even, then Frieza's gonna come with the clutch and just push them both off, if anything.
I feel like Frieza has to do something, and it has to be the clutch, or otherwise it's just gonna be like, hey, just been chilling here the whole time watching you guys.
He's been on the ground the whole time. It's like, at least he tried, I get it, but what more can he do? He needs to play a bigger part, and I think he will.
Well, that's what we think, guys. I say that it's going to be a stalemate. Alex says that Mastered UI should be able to defeat Jiren. Yep. Golden Frieza is the only thing that has me in question here with that. That's the only reason why I would say they have to make him useful for something, and if not, have Goku and Jiren drain each other of everything they've got. I have a small feeling that it's going to give me like the Hit versus Goku vibe, where he's going to adapt. They're each going to adapt minute by minute inside the TV show, and then at the very end drain each other of everything, and it's just going to come down to Frieza deciding the winner.
Damn, they're gonna. So you're saying they're gonna be? Oh my god, yeah. But like, wow, if they adapt to each other continuously for seconds on end until this thing bleeds out, God, that would be an incompleted fight. Because then like you got both guys that are, you know, topping each other blow for blow after every freaking second, after every minute. You know, just for this to happen, it's like for them to match each other in the end, that would be different, you know. Like, but I don't know. Let's just see what happens. I think that Master GY should get the job done unless they give Jiren the power buff. But if they give Jiren the power buff, then I think they're gonna bleed each other out until Frieza pushes them off.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Alex, for being on the channel.
Thank you, man.
No problem, man. Smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to both of our channels. Alex's link will be in the description. Turn on notifications, and we'll be back next time. Take care, everyone. Peace.